Okay, welcome back to Dave's Data Analytics channel on Twitch, and welcome back to the Caribou Data Science channel on YouTube. Let's get this report started as always today with Brazil. So we say welcome back, Brazil, to your Caribou Data Science channel. I have a favor to ask you folks in Brazil today. That's if you are watching this video on YouTube today, I'd appreciate if you would click on that share button, share this video today with your friends and family on YouTube, on Facebook and Twitter. Okay, if we look here, you can see that the previous 365 days, Brazil has had 13.6 million cases, 156,445 deaths. And as we know, 2022 cases have already passed 2021 cases for Brazil. The good news is deaths for 2022 are lagging behind the 2021 numbers. And then you can see here that as of you can see as of June 25th, Brazil is averaging 55,446 cases per day, and an averaging 208 deaths per day. You can see, unfortunately, that you had this bit of a monkey business here in cases, a few big weekly spikes, numbers approaching 250,000. Good news is deaths are remaining fairly low. Despite the spikes, the deaths are remaining fairly low. This line here will be 1,250 deaths. Monthly case, you can see that June is going to be the most number of cases in 4 months. Okay. But the good news is that June's deaths are going to be, well, they're going to be higher than the previous 2 months, but still underneath 5,000 for the month. Okay. That concludes the report for Spain for Brazil for today. And again, Brazil, before I let you go, you watch this video on YouTube, I appreciate if you click on that share button. Share this video today on your Facebook and your Twitter account. Okay. I mean on your Facebook and Twitter accounts. Yes. Just keep this wagon rolling along here. Let's go to Spain now. So again, I say it's Spain. If you're watching this video on YouTube today, I'd appreciate if you click on that share button for me. Share this video on Facebook and Twitter today with your friends and your family. It's far before for Spain then. You can see here currently Spain is averaging for the previous 365 days has had 8.9 million cases, 27,296 deaths. And as all too common, 2022 cases, I just waltzed right by the total number of cases for 2021. And you can see here that deaths for 2022 in Spain have also passed the 2021 COVID-19 deaths. Okay, but on average, Spain is averaging, as of June the 25th, is averaging 17,200 cases, but only 43.1 deaths for the same period of time. But cases are still relatively low. This line here is 125,000. So for all this period back over to here, they were at or below 125,000 deaths or cases per day per week. Well, there was a spike here. The overall pattern is for Spain is declining COVID-19 deaths. Okay, so that's the best news of all. This line here is 250 deaths per week. But here you go. You can look at this. The cases for Spain are still going to wind up being, well, pretty doggone low, right around about 4 to 500,000 in June. Okay, cases. But look at this. Look at these deaths. 1, 2, 3, 4. June's going to be the fourth month in a row where Spain sees a decline in COVID-19 deaths. Okay, so that does conclude the report for Spain for today. Again, Spain, if you're watching this video on YouTube, I would appreciate if you click on that share button. Click on that share button and click on the share button. Share the video today on Facebook and Twitter, okay? Is anybody over lurking around I should be aware of? No. Keep this wagon moving along here. So we say, welcome back, India, to your Caribou Data Science channel. And if you are indeed watching this video on YouTube today, I'd appreciate if you click on that share button. Share this video with your friends and family today, okay? The far to report for India here now. You can see for the previous 365 days, India has had 13.1 million cases, 127,440 deaths, and as expected, 2022 cases have already passed 2021's total cases. Okay, but good news is 2022 deaths, COVID-19 deaths, are lagging behind the 2021 total at this point. Okay, and you can see as of June the 25th, India was averaging 14,528.5 cases per day and 24.8 deaths per day. You know, we've got this little hiccup here, but still pretty doggone crazy numbers, okay? And crazy low numbers for deaths also on a weekly basis. Even with this spike in June, we're still have some pretty doggone low numbers for Spain, because this number here cases is 2 million. This number here is 500,000, right? I'm sorry, this line here is 1 million. So you can see these numbers are well below that 1 million total for cases per month. One, two, three, four. So cases, of course, deaths are going to show the fourth month in a row now. It looks like India is going to have a decline in COVID-19 deaths, and that's the most important number of all. Okay, the declining deaths. Okay. Again, before I let you go, India, I'd appreciate if you click on that share button for me and share the video today on Facebook and Twitter. Right? Everything's up to date in Kansas City. It's going about as far as you can. So what? Should I start playing Minecraft and start streaming Minecraft games? Is that the secret to me getting actually becoming an affiliate? I don't know. It's an interesting question. Okay, so that was India. Let's just find out about Israel now. So Israel said, Israel, if you are watching this video on YouTube today, I would appreciate if you would click on that share button for me today. Share this video on your Facebook and your Twitter accounts, okay? Take a peekaboo here. So this is Israel, and you got Portugal, Sweden, and the U.S. As you can see here, for the previous 365 days, Israel's had, let's say, 3.5 million cases, 4,520 deaths. And like many countries, Israel's 2022 cases just ran right by 2021's total cases like it was standing still. Of course, it is standing still, but that's beside the point. Unfortunately, 2022's COVID-19 deaths for Israel has also passed the 2021 total deaths. You can see Israel has seen a bit of an increase here. As of June the 25th, they were averaging 10,515 cases per day, but only 5 deaths per day, so that's all right. And you can see this little 3-week increase here in COVID-19 cases. Well, last week appears to be begin a new downward trend. But here's the good news: the deaths down here, this line here is 50. So these numbers here, these weeks here, the deaths are below 50 per week. So that's pretty doggone good news. Even though we're seeing an increase over the previous 3 months, okay, June is still going to be below 250,000 cases for the month. Okay, look at this. June is going to be the fourth month in a row Israel has a decline in COVID-19 deaths. Okay. So again, in the air, Israel, I got a favor to ask you again today. If you are watching this on YouTube today, if you are watching this on YouTube, I'd appreciate if you click on the share button, share this video on your Facebook and your Twitter accounts. Okay. Israel, Portugal, Sweden. Now, I'll give you a little heads up here. Portugal is definitely struggling right now for a small country with its COVID-19 numbers. Okay, but if you are watching this video on YouTube today, Portugal, I'd appreciate it as always if you click on that share button for me. Share the video on Facebook and Twitter today. Okay, so it's covering out run the report for Israel or for Portugal. You can see for the previous 365 days, Portugal's had 4.3 million cases, 6,996 deaths. You can see that their total cases for the year so far, the cases of 2022 have passed 2021's cases. And deaths for 2022 have passed 2021's deaths. You can see Portugal had this big spike here, but it does appear as there's a number of falling now. So that's June the 25th. The numbers are back down to an average of 10,529 per day. And as for the as of the 25th, deaths were down to 19.4 deaths per day. You can see they had this spike here, but now it does appear that the numbers are declining downward trend. So that's good news for cases. Deaths, unfortunately, are still showing an increase, although hopefully this is the beginning of a new downward trend and not just a spike, an anti-spike, okay? Good news is that June deaths will be less than May's deaths or cases. Unfortunately, June is going to be the third month in a row we see an increase in COVID-19 deaths in Portugal, right? So that's not particularly good news for Portugal. Before I let you go, Portugal, that pay for one more time is click on that share button for me. Share the video on Facebook and Twitter, right? Okay, now we say welcome back, Sweden, to your Caribou Data Science channel. This is the afternoon of, well, it's the afternoon of Wednesday, June 29, 2022. Before we get started, Sweden, that one favor to ask again is what? Click on the share button for me. And then share this video today on Facebook and Twitter with your friends and your family, okay? Okay, so let's see what's going on here. So for the previous 365 days, Sweden has had 1.4 million cases, right? Yeah, 1.3 million cases. Okay, 4,478 deaths. You can see they had, you can see how crazy this July and February was for Sweden. Look at the difference between 2021's total cases and the cases for the first 6 months of 2022. Now, same thing with deaths. Well, if you look over here, okay, they're actually only averaging 416.5 cases per day, and only 2.5 deaths per day. So you can see that the Sweden's cases are pretty doggone crazy low, and the deaths are continuing to show a declining pattern. Okay, look how well, this is going to be the 1, 2, 3, 4. Look how crazy though April, May, and June's numbers are. Okay, for cases, and 1, 2, 3, 4 months in a row a decline in COVID-19 deaths for Sweden. Okay. So anyway, Sweden, before that you go this evening, one favor to ask that's that you click on that share button and share this video with your friends and your family on Facebook and Twitter, okay? Now we wrap up our session today with the U.S. Okay, America, welcome back to your Caribou Data Science channel on YouTube. I appreciate today, folks, on YouTube, if you would click on that share button. Share this video today with your friends and family. Share it on Facebook and Twitter, okay? Let's just take a look here then. You can see at the U.S. for the previous 365 days, 53.5 million cases, 415,646 deaths. You can see that the U.S. cases have passed the 2021 cases. But there's a little bit of glimmer of hope here that the 2022 deaths are lagging a little behind the 2021 total COVID-19 deaths. Okay, let's just take a look here. As of June the 25th, U.S. is averaging 107,941 cases per day and 380.1 deaths per day. You can see we had this little spike up here, and we are seeing a gradual decline here. Okay, but this little spike here hurt us for cases. Okay, overall declining pattern, maybe level off for so this line here would be 2,500 deaths per week. So you can see that for the previous 6 or 8 weeks, COVID-19 deaths have hovered right around that 2,500 mark. Okay. Unfortunately, June is going to pass May's cases. Okay. But deaths are going to be the deaths are going to be the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. June going to be the 5th month in a row the U.S. sees a decline in COVID-19 deaths. Okay. So that concludes the report for today. Let's just go wrap this up. Then we're going to upload the file. Okay, so that concludes the video for today.